But what about you at home? Are you doing what you always anticipated you would do? Or did things not quite work out the way that you envisaged? I want to talk about that a little bit later on in the show as well. But let's kick off, shall we, by talking about social care. A report from Age UK has found that half of patients arriving in ambulances at A&E are over the age of 65 because, they say, essentially social care is being rationed for older people. I'll pick up with you, first of all, mainly to give Alex a chance to get his breath back and to give someone a second to bring the man a glass of water as well. We go around in circles, don't we, on social care in this country. So many reports, so many commissions, investigations, but yet nothing really seems to, or at least it doesn't feel like it gets that much better. Can you ever see a scenario where social care will be fixed in this country? And if so, what does that look like?
It's hard to get away from the truth, I think, Michelle, that it does come down to funding, essentially. Now, I know people will say, well, the easy thing to argue is just throw more money at it. That doesn't always work. OK, it won't solve all of the problems, but it certainly helps. I mean, the system is clearly completely broken. And I think we probably need something like a national care service in this country, created, I think, along similar lines of the National Health Service, free at the point of delivery.
With ring-fenced taxation to fund it?
Well, not necessarily hypothecated taxation, but just paid for out of general taxation in some way. I mean, I wouldn't get hung up on whether it's hypothecated or whether it's just sort of out of general taxation. But I think we don't... I mean, on residential and home care in this country, for example, I think we spend something like 0.7% of GDP. In places like Japan, the Netherlands, Sweden and places like that, it's around about 2%. Now, I think if you underfund in that respect, then you're asking for problems. And we actually spend less on social care today than we did 10 years ago. I think the other elephant in the room in many respects is the staffing crisis that we have in care homes, which is been brought about, I think, in no small measure as a result of the pretty low wages that carers get. And, of course, it's like anything. If you're not being paid well and you're in the middle of a cost of living crisis and you've got to put food on the table and you can find a better job elsewhere, then the chances are that you're going to take it. So all of those things are the problem. But I think, really, a national care service is probably the only solution at this stage.